Yeah,
bug is solved. So Abhishek, let's start with you.
no, I think we should start with Vivek.
Vivek, okay, fine. Vivek, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the session. So I guess I'm audible now.
yep, you are audible.
Uh, uh, Thanks to Allied Buzz, thanks to Biswatma for organizing the session. I know there were many queries in the past 2 3 days while there was news that Fractal was visiting. So I hope the session will serve the purpose. So just a bit of introduction of myself. I am N Vivek Kumar. So um, I was in industrial design department. Graduated last year. Yeah, Fractal visited last year for the first time again. We are the first batch of new recruits at Fractal. Um, as you know, we have Priyam, Abhishek, and Shravya here. Um, Feel free to interact, ask questions. Love to deep dive into the process and all. Yes. Um, Next, Abhishek.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi Biswatma. Hi Priyam. Hi Shravya. Hi everyone. I am Abhishek Jha. I am from Materials Engineering Department, and I would love to hear from you guys. How are you doing, and what are your expectations from this meeting? I hope I will clear few of them. And in case if you have any doubt or any clarifications you need, you can reach out to any of us. I think Priyam, you may introduce your.
Hello, hi, I'm Priyam from Metallurgy Department. So right now we are in Fractal and everything else introduction that everyone else said. Okay, the same. You will know. Okay. So as about the preparation, I think you all have the placement manual which we have written exactly in details like how to prepare and what did we do. So other than that, if you have any doubts, you can ask.
So I think Shravya should introduce herself.
Hi guys, hi everyone. So I'm Shravya, class of 2020, and I'm from Electronics and Communication. So Fractal, yes, visited last year for the first time ever, and they recruited us for the role of Imagineer. So at that time, we were really not acquainted with the term Imagineer, and we just thought, we'd be hired for some other role. So now they are more open about it, and for your campus, I mean, and to be honest, I think this is the first time they even had a role called Imagineer. So I would love to share the experience and everything with you guys, and also if you are really interested in the firm and if you want to know how to get into the company and everything, we'll be more than happy to help. Yeah.
So yeah, that's thank you Shravya for the introduction, and I guess many of them were asking me itself that what was this Imagineer thing. So so hope you are clear about it, and now we will just start with I had collected few questions from the guys through the group. So the very basic question was like the online test for you guys, the last year batch, 2020 batch. It was like the online test was kind of going to be different this time. They are saying that they are having coding this time in the online test. So any of you, like Shravya, can you just tell me tell them what was the basic online test last time?
Okay, for us, one thing was that only CS and EE had to write the coding test, and the rest of the branches they did not have to write coding test, and it was just aptitude. So for aptitude, I can give you an insight as to what they might ask, and that is more or less the basic questions. So you've got your quant, verbal, LR, DI, all of that. So as far as coding is concerned, I think 3 4 months back, all of us were asked, like the ones who were recruited as Imagineers, they were asked to give a test for coding and SQL. So I can maybe and they told us that this is for benchmarking. So it's like, whatever we score, that would be like the average. so that when they are recruiting Imagineers, they can, I mean, the new set of Imagineers, then they can, just compare their scores to the average of ours, and based on that, I think they can recruit. But that that coding section was fairly straightforward. They did not really have any twisted questions here and there. It was all general programming, something that you would find on Geeks for Geeks. But the SQL question was quite challenging, though it was formed very simple in a very simple sentence. That was a bit challenging. So I'm not sure if they will give you the exact same, layout as they gave us, but maybe you guys should just focus on general programming and SQL.
Yeah, last year the questions that WE and CSE had, they had SQL questions mostly. To write SQL queries, not much into like competitive programming, just basic. And for rest, it was only English and aptitude. You guys are having that like in third year we had that practice with the TNP. You guys have that
PAT
practice?
test.
So this time they were not able to conduct it because of the pandemic, so the PAT test.
Oh.
But for that thing, I will just Vivek and I will be suggesting where you can basically prepare for the coding. So basically you just as Shravya mentioned, for the circuital branches, specifically CS and EC and EE suppose, but for this time I guess every one of you are going to have coding in the online test, right? Can anyone else from other departments like the 2021 batch confirm that anyone can unmute yourself and just say if it's right, I'm saying right. I just want
Yeah, they said that coding test will be for all the departments, like circuital, non-circuital, both.
Okay, fine. So for that reason, since Shravya gave a good insight that it was like they had asked them SQL. So
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I actually wanted to say that during the PPT they said that there will be a coding round, but the coding round is going to be a non-elimination round.
Okay.
It is only to see how much the people know about coding.
Okay, so to be honest, like if you're going for an analytics company, and obviously it's like Fractal is not going to hire only from our college, it's going to hire from the entire India and the top tier colleges like other NITs also and IITs. So for that reason I would say we should be like since Rajnani just mentioned that it was like it is not like not elimination kind of test, but still I will say that if it holds importance, we should obviously focus on it, and I will be providing the resources where you can go for this pseudo kind of code or kind of things, or what kind of coding they may ask like other analytics companies. So above all, so another question that few people have asked me through the Google form is that they just want to know that what type of cases and brainstorming puzzles they should prepare before appearing for the company. So any of the Imagineers, if you can explain, guys. Guys, who is that? Who is that? Okay.
Okay, I can
Okay,
say about
so-
that.
Yeah, anyone.
Yeah, you go ahead. Vivek.
Sure, Priyam. So for most of us, and there was one case study in technical rounds, I think, and they were mostly focusing on how we are analyzing a situation, how we are analyzing a business situation. So in my case, they asked me that how will you minimize the total cost of an IPL team, and if you have done any like case study, whether it is from YouTube or there is one book, then you can easily go through that. Another thing I would like to mention, that if you have given any case study, try to be in a logical order. Like if you are starting with a population and then break down into like a strategic way. Like it should not be that you have started with random numbers and in the midway you are struck doing the calculations only. So I would suggest that take your time, ask for around 10 seconds, or maybe you can take up to 1 minute, and then think before jumping onto your solution. This really helps me in solving a case study. in my case, I went through the YouTube channel of Case Interview Cracked. If I'm not wrong, there is one channel, Case Interview Cracked, and it helped me a lot. I didn't read any book, but that was my strategy regarding case study. You may follow that.
Yes, Priyam, you can take over now.
Okay, so as he told about the strategy, I'll go more into questions. So first of all, you can prepare like in the Google, you can type, okay, case studies, business analysis questions. So you'll get a lot of them to see. Okay, in that it doesn't matter if you are correct or wrong. Okay, so it's more like how you approach. So you, when they, like, for example, there was a question, you have to count how many trees are there in Delhi, NCR region. You don't have to be correct. You don't have to really count the trees. You just take some random number, like on your own assumption. And when you're assuming a number, always take, like, it's easy when you take it multiples of 10, so that it's easily divisible. So you don't take much time. And then like questions like, okay, so like there are 21 big bazaars in Mumbai, and you are making the 22nd big bazaar. What all factors you will see when you are making, like where location and how the distance between the warehouse, so everything. So in my case, in Fractal, they are asked like if they're making a gym in Bangalore, so what are factors I need to see, like seeing the traffic and the work culture, everything. So like and then in the second interview, they have asked a guesstimate question. So in that, they have the interview room, it was a cubicle room. So they asked me how many balls can fit in the room. Okay. So in that, if you really take a tennis ball, okay, it will be like really complicated. You have to divide and everything. So just take a random, like I told that its diameter will be 10 centimeters. Obviously, balls are not that big, but just take it, assume the size of the room, okay, take the volume and just divide it. And some very big number came. So they were like, are you sure this is the correct answer? So obviously that is not the correct answer. But you have to say in confidence that yes, it is the correct answer. So that's what they want to see. They want to see how you approach and how confident you are on your answer. So like the correct answer or wrong, it really doesn't matter. In Trident interview, they had also asked me like if they are making a mall in Rourkela, what all factors they should see and where they should make the mall. So these types of questions are business analysis questions.
Any other Imagineer want to share some more insights?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, remembering my interview, what I can say is I will concord with Priyam and Abhishek that again you do not need to be correct. It seems that the first round guy was a cricket freak. He asked me again about IPL. Was how many balls would you be used in an IPL season? So that I was just, I even calculated the number of matches as wrong. Still, the main point is you need to involve the interviewer. You need to repeatedly ask him questions. Whether if you are taking something, you just need to inform him. He might tell that it is right or wrong, or he might give you some insights. That's how it goes. So keep your interviewer in loop. It's not like you work 5 minutes on your own and then show him the answer. It should be a stepwise approach. And
Yeah,
again, necessarily, you do not need to be correct. Look for the approach and how you are approaching it. What is your thinking behind the case? So they look into that part. So yeah, on to Shravya, if she can add.
Yeah, sure. So, my preparation strategy was just to go through case studies and guesstimates. But unlike Vivek and everyone, I actually didn't get any guesstimates or case studies in my interview. When I went in there, they just looked at my resume. I was actually quite prepared with all of the other things I could. Like, I was like, okay, fine, got that edge, basically all the estimates possible. So I also knew about how to solve these case studies did go through the case interviews. So then after that, what had happened is the moment I went in there, they just asked me everything related to my resume. There I've written that I know C, C++, and Python. So they started asking questions based on that. Then after that was done, they moved on to the project, and they started asking. I specific interest if you have AI related projects. So they are going to ask you questions about that more, because in the end they're one of the major work that they actually do is in AI. So they get really interested then. So after that, it was around 20-25 minutes, and after that I was moving to the second, where again they asked me different this thing project, and after that was done, we just go to HR questions. But I mean, I guess I did have to understand that I was in in the circuital branch. So just had it a bit easier than the one in non-circuital branch. That is there for sure. But that doesn't mean that you take this whole thing lightly. Do prepare. So after that, it was then they just moved on to the HR questions. But entirely my whole strategy. Actually, I don't know. Is TNT still giving us login ID and passwords and everything? Really helped me when it came to the part. Huh?
Shravya, can you repeat? You are not audible, I guess. So the last thing.
Oh, which part? The entire thing?
No, not the entire thing. The last part about the password, something you told.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. We had a Pariksha login ID and
They are
password.
also having that, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So that really helps for cracking the first round. So if you guys practice enough from there, I think your aptitude part of the exam is going to be cleared with ease. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay, as Shravya had said about, and other Imagineers have mentioned about how they prepared for the aptitude and all. So see, it's very clear to the guys out there that about aptitude you have to basic from the first year or any other examination you go to indiabix.com. So that's the very basic. But as you move on in time, like Pariksha, even I guess the institute had provided you like test every Sunday, I guess. So some were asking that it's not opening. So you can either change the browser, because I had tried it was working. Also, like other sites are there. For example, Fest Prep, a site is there which provides really good questions, I will say. And if you are preparing from IndiaBix and appearing the test at Pariksha, I will say that most of the questions are quite similar and you can excel easily in those tests and gain confidence. So moving to the case study thing that all the Imagineer mentioned, I will just mention some resources for those. So first of all, everyone knows about Victor Cheng. So those because there is one disadvantage of Victor Cheng, that the session that 8 to 9 videos or 13 videos, I guess, he is having on YouTube, he is having that problem is the accent that he uses, and some few of the students might find difficult to understand, and the picture quality is not that good, and he uses basically light board, so the shadow board actually. So what you can do is you can either follow his book. There is a book, I'll be sharing the link, PDF link, so you can check it out. Whatever he tells in brief, it is given in detail and with examples. So if you are not getting to understand what Victor Cheng is saying through videos, you can go to another, like Abhishek mentioned about case interview cracked YouTube channel is there. Yes, it is there. And also one foreign workshop channel, like it's called APD Consulting Club is there. And even I had posted the Faculty of Management Studies have released the case study book, so you can also follow that book. It's good case studies have been given. For case studies, there are plenty of stuffs, you just need to understand, and I'll be providing all the links at final. And yes, actually Shravya, people are really interested to know, because many of the students have AI profile and they're good at machine learning and deep learning this time. So they are quite interested to know what they have asked you in the interview actually regarding AI. So if you can shed some light on it.
Okay, basically it was just on my project. My project was based on facial recognition. So because it was that, they just asked like basic questions or what, you know, I think you were there with me at that time. So I was like telling you, I was also going through all the different concepts and all of that. So they didn't do anything out of the box. They didn't ask me to code on this, but they just kept what to their head. They were just like, yeah, can you explain this? Can you explain that? And what algorithm did you use? Then why do you think this happens? It's basically if you guys have projects if you have written projects on your CV, ensure that each and every single topic and each and every single thing that is even involved or related to your whole project, learn it. Not, I mean, we all in the end know that you know how to implement it, but then you need to also be able to explain it theoretically. They are not going to look at some knowledge over there, because in the end, even if you don't know anything about AI and ML, they are going to give you training. As of now, uh, finished our training. Today was the last day of our training. So, we are going to train. They're going to do everything. So, but before that, you need to have like the basic theoretical knowledge. So, if you can learn all of that, it's going to help you.
So I guess if students of those who are having in your CV are mentioned about machine learning and data science and anything, any field of data science that you are confident in, make sure that you obviously go through all the theory stuff and what your projects you have done. So that will be sufficient, I guess, for this role. Anything else, Vivek, you want to add? Anything related to
I would like to add one thing.
Okay, Priyam, yeah.
Yeah. So like on your CV, like be totally thorough with your CV. They can ask anything. Okay. So if you are not exactly sure, if you know something, don't add it. It will be better of that way, because they even asked me about my career objective, like which I written something random, and they asked please explain it. So you have to be totally sure what you are writing and know exactly. And on that, mostly they didn't ask in fractal, but usually they ask about puzzles. Okay, they ask you to solve something puzzles. In that you can take in Geeks for Geeks. Okay, there are lots of puzzles. Most puzzles come from there only. So you can just go and see the way they do it and even practice if you want. Okay, so in that you will get an idea on approach on how do you approach a puzzle. So it would be a good thing, even if not for fractal, but usually they ask in interviews about puzzles.
So
Yeah,
Abhishek and
basically,
Vivek,
You're
yeah, Abhishek, yeah.
absolutely right, because yeah, and the others who were recruited as well, there were a couple who were asked about puzzles. They were asked to, and they are all like question 1 to 40. So it's like from geeks to geeks, literally each and every single question is there. They are going to come and I mean, yeah, they won't even change it here and there.
yeah. So
Abhishek, yeah.
So I want to give 2 points what I missed before. The first thing regarding case studies preparation. During our time only, I used to refer. Initially I used to refer multiple resource, but later I found that it is better to use a single resource, refer a single resource, and that will certainly help you. And second point I want to make regarding aptitude test was despite preparing from pariksha.com, I found data interpretation, and many of us found data interpretation part was a bit tough. So if you can prepare for that beforehand, that will actually help you.
Okay.
These were the 2 points which I want to make, and later I will come how they drill on your CV. That was like another story.
Okay, Vivek, any other point you want to make regarding the interview questions and all?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So everyone, I want everyone who is appearing, to have a mock case study with some of your friends, because that would really help. There were some analytics company already which visited, I guess. So you can take the case studies from this year or some previous year or from anywhere. Just look around. You will find a case study. So you pick one and invite your friend who is interested for this recruitment. Pose yourself as an interviewer and give him the question. see that like in a real time how you guys perform. Because I remember last time, so I prepared like this. So this really helps. So I went to someone who already cleared who was already placed. So I asked him, can you go through my case? He gave me the question which was asked in his interview. So I sat in his room. I tried that in front of him. He was posing like an interviewer. He was telling, no, this is not right. This is not right. How would you take this? Yeah, that really helps. So for the case study, you can do like this.
So I think now these were the basic questions that you had basically asked me through the form. Now you can directly ask anyone any queries if you are having. Guys, anyone of you, if you are interested to ask questions, you can directly ask the panel now. Anyone?
Can we ask questions?
Yeah, sure.
How was the PPT you guys saw in the PPT? How was it? What are your expectations?
Vivek, I think it's like just completely a straightforward question. We should not ask them directly. Okay, so what do you think of what is an Imagineer? Like any one of you can tell me or explain what is Imagineer first that comes to your mind.
Imaginer is someone like they want us to imagine like things or solutions to the various problems that they come across, and come up with creative solutions just like that.
Yeah, kind of. It's like that only. It's not much different from that, but like the concept of Imagineers is, as far as I know, it's a 3-year program. For the first year, you won't know your exact roles. After 1 year, you will know your exact roles. So till 1 year, you will be allowed to explore all the fields of AI engineering and design. You will get your hands on different on data engineering, data scientist, and then later you as well as the company will decide what will be your role. So it's a new buzzword, you can say, and as far as I know, it does not have any implications on your job profile in the first year. And after that, there is also one thing that you can go for B school, but there is also a clause you should take into consideration that it's not top 20%. If you have went through the PPT, I think many of us missed it was top 20%, but it was only top 20. So yeah, just check into that. Another thing, Vivek, Shravya, or Prem, you want to add about Imagineers?
Okay, as far as even though they call us Imagineers, I feel like the job description as of now is very similar to what a data engineer does. I mean, I guess you guys can back me up with this. It's mostly, see, as of now, we've gotten training in Python, we've gotten training in big data. Then they'll teach us to use various visualization tools and all of that. So, an advantage of being an Imagineer is that you get to choose your path in the future. So, you've got AI, engineering, and design. So, suppose if you're interested in AI, you can choose that path and you can choose that track, and you keep working there, you gain experience, and sooner or later, you can get the role of data scientist. Then if you go for data engineer and all of that, then you start getting roles as an analyst or a consultant and all of that. And for designing again, that they that goes into more not information architect. Abhishek, what was that role that they were talking about? It was a design engineer or something. There was one
I think
role.
it was cloud architecture, like that.
There was a cloud architect, and there was someone else also who was
So,
There was some,
so basically there are 6 profiles, and you will be into one of them. That's the whole crux, right? So,
and that's completely dependent on you. Suppose
yeah.
if you have any, like suppose if you are inclined to both AI as well as engineering, you get one role. If you just completely focused on AI and you want to become a data scientist, that is also your choice. So I guess the part of them naming us an Imagineer is also because they're giving us that freedom to choose within the coming years. So, yeah, that is exactly what an Imagineer does as of now. And we really can't do more than this because, to be honest, we just finished our training program, and over there they just told us, like, this is what you're supposed to do, that's what you're supposed to do. And as far as all of this is concerned, it's almost everything is into analytics as of now, whatever we have done.
Yeah,
Um, the,
I agree with your point that most of our courses are related with data engineering and not with data scientists. But probably we can explore more in future, right?
Right.
Priyam and Vivek, tell us more about it.
Imagineer is mostly like a term which they have like recently coined for the batch of 2020, and it's like a test. So we are the first ones. So I guess it's like any other data engineer role, entry level. Again, for the sake of today's session, it's like you guys can like open up with your questions because it would be better.
Yeah, guys, you can start asking your questions because it's for you guys interacting. I conducted it on Discord, so anyone has any queries, please feel free. अभी क्लियर कर दो, बाद में जाके फिर सबको टेक्स्ट करने का कुछ फ़ायदा नहीं है. अभी क्लियर कर दो यहीं पे. Everyone should know. So I hope everyone is clear with everything. No queries.
No, Biswatma,
Yeah.
this is the common problem for all of us.
Okay.
We are hesitant, so probably we should give them some time. They
Okay,
will
yeah.
sure come up with questions.
Okay, there
Yeah.
someone has come. Mridul
guys,
has come.
Mridul is asking, how is the growth and learning curve?
Yeah, Priyam, what do you like to take that question?
Is Priyam there?
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, learning curve. Okay. So, do you like college? Mridul? Okay. No need to answer.
I think
Okay.
you
If
should
you
ask,
really
do
like
you
to
like
learn,
college class? Yeah, Mridul, do you really like college class, like attending class?
okay. So, normally in NIT it was like 8 to 5, right? So, now we are having training from at max 9 to 7 daily. So, like, if you want to learn, there is a lot to learn. They even give you courses as much as you want. Okay. So, you can learn as much. On each year, you have to learn. They have a point. So, you have to achieve that point in learning new things. They have their own academy in which there are lots of courses that you can take whichever you want. Okay. So, they have videos and everything. And in this 1 month, they had a lot of training. We learned machine learning in 2 days. So I think you can get from that.
Okay, okay. I guess they're scaring you a bit. Though it is stressful, yes. We are taught a lot of things as of now. Okay, so first we had Python, a course on Python, followed by machine learning, followed by Excel, followed by Power BI. Then after all of that was done, they gave us a breather with more life skill related courses, and then again we jumped into data engineering using Azure. So after all of that was done, again they gave us a small breather with life sciences, and in the middle we had a hackathon or two. So maybe once you join the company, the learning curve is quite exponential. But after, you get a project and everything, it'll be much more chill.
Okay, we have a.
We
Or
also had
maybe after telling you all
pre-boarding
of this, I'll tell you
training.
more.
Okay, we have
We
a
also had
question from
pre-boarding
Shruti.
training.
What kind of questions were asked in interview based on programming language? Any one of you did face or any other recruit from 2020 batch, if you know, he or she must have
I
come.
think most of us faced programming questions. If I'm not wrong, if you have written any programming language in your CV, they will ask a few basic questions. In my case, I have written Python and SQL. They asked me different types of joins from Python, and there was a question based on tuple. I don't remember that exactly. And they asked a few questions on data structure. So if you have written any programming language, they will certainly ask you. And I would suggest that if you can practice some SQL, you can easily finish it in 3-4 days, and it will really help in most of the company. And and it's comparatively easy to grasp all the concepts of SQL. And regarding what was the next question?
So that was the
This
only
one,
question.
right?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Anyone else? Any other question?
Yeah, they will ask anything that you have written on your CV. So, like if you have written SQL, they'll obviously ask SQL, C++, and mostly they ask basics to know if you actually know or not. Okay. So, like I had written CAD, that we engineering drawing that we learned in second year. So I had written that. They even asked about that. So they gave me like, if you want to like do a engineering drawing of this room, table and everything, can you do it? So that you have to explain. Anything you write on your CV.
So as the guys are saying that it's like the everything you mention in CV, just be sure that you have given your 100% to that thing. It's like if you just mention it for bluffing, then you are going to get into the like red hand you are going to be caught red-handed by the interviewer. So to be safe, just write what you know and be strong in it. So any other questions out there?
Yeah. Another thing I would like to add regarding CV, if like most of us in hobbies section, we write something that is fascinating to us. In my case, I have written regarding international news. So they were like, okay, they asked me few international news, and what is it? They searched on Google that was the recent trending, and they asked me that only. So every section you should be thorough in your CV. And another thing that happened with me, not sure about others, they even asked you a few basic concepts of your department, even if it is not related with another. They asked me questions regarding what is ferrite. I don't know, probably they just Google the term, and yeah, if they might Google a few basic terms from your department. That was one more thing.
And although that 9.8 CGPA thing is funny, but still, if the Imagineers can throw some light, if CGPA is important for
No, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's completely dependent on your CV and how you've performed in the aptitude test before that. I mean, like shortlisting wise, I mean. But in the interview, they only care about the CV and the way you perform, the way you talk. And I think once we joined, they made it very clear to us that they were looking for people who had, who are willing to pour their heart and soul into the company. They wanted people who actually, knew what they were doing and were interested in what they were doing. So if you guys can portray that emotion that yes, I can work, I guess that would give you guys a better chance.
Yeah, totally agree with Shravya. CGPA doesn't matter for this at least. And again, they might have showed you in the PPT as well that they hire for Fractal first and then for the role. So you show the intent and be confident throughout your interview. Mostly your people skills. So that would work. And again, the same thing I would also like to repeat. Do not write anything in your resume which you are not sure of. Because they scan your resume and accordingly they ask you questions.
So another question, like Mridul is asking to be very specific. If you guys remember anything like aptitude test specific to fractal, not like the general aptitude test. It's like what was asked in fractal and kind of thing.
I do not remember exactly, but there were some questions on the business BI part. Like there were some data tables and charts and also this data interpretation and logical reasoning. I guess that had it had a bit more weightage, higher weightage.
Yeah, it kind of like they had given some plots and you have to analyze it like in terms of business. They are basically I was like invigilating, so I have seen few questions like they were quite related to what I can say to the business. They'll give you a business problem statement and they have given a plot like what we call that box plot thing is there in data science. So that box plot was given and you have to analyze from that box plot kind of these questions, and you can easily find these questions in sample papers available on internet. There are so few. I will be giving the links also in this video towards the end. So any other question regarding, okay, Sneha has asked something. If anyone of the panel wants to answer this.
Yeah, sure. If you don't know coding, Sneha, it's okay. You don't need to write it. But if you have any idea and if you think you can answer the basic, I think it's better. Okay, is that you talking, Sneha? No.
No, it's not Sneha, it's someone else. Let me check.
It's fine, it's fine. Anyway, so if you know at least the basics, maybe you can mention it and let them know that it is the basics that you understand. Because in the end, it is an analytic firm and they do like to select people who know at least one programming language, right? I think all of us knew at least the basics of one. So I would suggest you try to go through the basics. But if you know data analysis using Excel and everything, and if you are confident about it, do put it. And I'm pretty sure that you can invite challenging questions for your interview. And if you can crack it, I think you'd be selected for sure.
Any other questions, guys? Or okay, Shravya, you want to answer this? That SQLite and MySQL thing, or basic SQL they should learn. So, anyone else in the panel, if they want to answer Sneha's question?
So basically,
They are not
I wrote.
specific about MySQL.
Okay, Priyam
Yeah,
or Vivek, anyone?
Yeah, Vivek. Go.
Okay, I just wanted to point out that I had mentioned, I guess, Java and Python, though I was not quite clear of it. So, in the second round of the interview, which was the last one, the interviewer asked me about the programming languages in the beginning, and I was like, I do not. I just frankly told him that I had this experience in my first year of engineering, and I'm quite unaware of it right now. He didn't ask me any questions. So do not stress out if you do not know any coding. But again, Sneha, as you have mentioned, Excel and some analysis and all. So that's good. Try to put it in the resume and the other parts as basics and all, so that you can counter your points.
No, and another thing I want to add that if you are clear with a few basic questions and even if you are unable to answer, just don't try to bluff. Like if you don't know, you can clearly tell them, okay, sir, I don't know, like what is this, or you may ask that, okay, sir, if I would be given some time, or like if you can't remember exactly, you may ask for some hint or like that. But if you don't know, like it is better to clearly say, sir, I don't know it.
I would say to Sneha, like if you really know SQLite, so if they ask about MySQL, you can always say that you know SQLite, and if you can answer in that. So mostly they agree to what you say. So I think it's mostly same, and they just want to know if you know, right? So even if you know SQLite, it's okay.
And they won't ask you direct code. okay, they will ask you how you will approach that question.
Okay, so moving to next
Frankly
question.
speaking, I
Yeah.
think they'll give you more theoretical, like what Jha just said. They won't ask you to write a piece of code. That is true. They are instead going to ask you the theoretical concepts. At no point was I even using that blank sheet of paper that was kept in front of me. So yeah, if you guys know any language, ensure that you're going through all the interview questions. You find it right, interview questions online if you just type it out. So go through all of that because that's exactly what they want to ask you.
So let's move to the next question that Chiru Bingas did for someone who is not really aware of the business world and how it works. Like, what are your suggestions of courses? Okay, any suggestion for any course like kind of thing of business analytics if you guys want to give to the guys who are attending today's session?
Is that Coursera subscription still valid?
Yeah, it's still valid. Yeah, yes, it's still valid.
You can try to go to this course. Business metrics something was there. That was a good course. So basics of business and how data is useful and all. I'll share the link here. So you can visit that course. It really provides some good insights in the world of technology and analytics and all. A short course. Just go through the first module. I find it interesting and helpful as well. Anyone has any other?
And other question, Sarath has asked something. Can you suggest what is the best way to prepare for the OT would be, and subsequently the requisites for the interview, like guesstimates or puzzle or case studies? Okay, any one of you can just make him clear between guesstimates, puzzles, and case studies. I will like any one of you to just tell him.
Okay, I think I may take this question forward. There is no best way to prepare for an AT. Okay, sorry, OT. You will in probably 2 or 3 your first of your OT, and you will learn. So take it as a learning process. Practice from wherever you can, have up to source, and try to practice from that only. So there is no best way to prepare for OT. You can give your online test on Pariksha or anywhere for gig. Okay. So and then coming back to your question, which is the most if I'm not wrong, you're asking which is the most important requisite for between case estimates or puzzles or case studies. Is that, or is it like you're asking we have to choose between these three? Sir,
Then Sneha has asked, what we don't have know how to approach the guesstimate questions, we can ask them to elaborate and explain about the question. So anyone of you, like, if they can ask about if she's not
yeah.
obviously, can continue, Abhishek.
So I will come back to Sarup's answer. Yes, and it is a good practice to ask questions like if you are given any question, whether it is guesstimate or case study, you should first ask that question and ask him and try to get some relevant data that you will use in your calculation. You should do that, and after that you should take your time to analyze that what are the information he has given, and if you think that he or she has missed some information, you should ask that like what are these data, like what is the total population. If you are assuming something, then keep interviewer in the loop. It is a good practice. You should do that.
What if we don't know how to approach?
Shall I answer the question?
Anyone else? Any other question? I guess okay, Sneha is typing. Okay, she got it. Anyways, I think most of the questions are clear, and I will be okay. Among Us hacker, someone is asking now. So, anyways, I will be posting everything regarding the resources in this video itself towards the end. I will be adding it to the end of this video, and will be posting it on YouTube so that you can definitely get the resources, and the links will be given in the description, so you can access the free PDFs and all. Okay, Among Us hacker has asked you guys, are you guys happy with your job?
Great question.
Good question.
So see, Abhishek, please.
Yeah. So there is a mixed response. I won't lie. If you are sitting for 9 to 6, from 9 to 6, you will be tired. At the end, you will think that okay, why I have choose this job. But after you analyze that how much you have learned in the last 1.5 months, you will realize that okay, I have learned a lot, and this will really help in my career. So it is good to invest your time into that. It For us, like right now, it seems like okay, what the heck they are doing, or like why they are taking. Okay, so like we missed one thing. Uh, like we have most of us have failed in test. There is a test on, I think, every one or other day. You will be having a test on Python, then machine learning, then Power BI, then there will be capstone project, and most of us fail. So one thing I like about Fractal is that it's okay to fail as much as you can, and but you should not stop learning. So this was the one thing that makes me happy about my job, and yeah, I am happy with my job with a mixed response. Probably Vivek will tell you more.
Yeah. So basically, what people like, what freshers think is, you guys will directly go and solve problems if you're placed in an analytics company, but that's not how it works. Yes, I too believe that that would be the case. I will be in a consulting role, uh, interacting with the client, working or directly with the client and all. So see, what happens is, at Fractal, I would say you will get a very good exposure to a lot of tools. Tools in the sense in which through which you can analyze data, process data. There's a lot of buzz around data, right? So the technical aspect is what you can what is which is a very field which is a very good field in the near future. Most of the organizations are switching to data and all. So data driven analysis, analytics. So it would be really helpful if you gain the required technical skill set and slowly understand your capabilities and all. So as of now, as Jha also mentioned, the learning curve has been quite good. Slowly you will find it interesting, and when you start it implementing in real life scenarios. So as of now, it's just the training parts will tell that it's quite good. And what else? I had a point.
And above all, I would like to mention that Vivek had got IIM offer from and he rejected it to join Fractal. So don't think of that what you will do after joining. Just think that what you are going to learn. So that's what matters. So, and if you any guy has any cat and all question, don't ask here. We will conduct some separate if Vivek is free for other sessions. So anyone else, any other question?
I think we have another question. How is the work environment? Probably Priyam will tell us more about that. Priyam?
Well, now we are working from home, so it's difficult to say the answer correctly. But as for their cooperation and the help, so they always ask for feedback. Like each and every session, they ask for a feedback. and as honest as you can. So if you have any problem, they're always happy to. So like even if it's very silly, they're always ready. Even in fact, they are like more into interacting. They want to interact with us more and more. So that like it's not about a lecture or something. They want it to be a more like a conversation. So you can say it's really really good.
So anyone else, any other question?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shravya, you
So,
can say.
like Priyam said, the work environment is quite positive. Though for the training period, they do try to bombard you with a lot of assignments, lot of courses. But in the end, you really have to consider one thing that they are paying you full salary so that only for you to study for 1.5 month. Till now, your parents have been paying for your education and all of that. Finally, this is a chance that you're not working, you're just learning, and someone else is paying you money to learn. So I guess that is a really good opportunity for anyone, and we have to make the best out of it. So yeah, and even all the superiors also, you really don't have to call them sirs or ma'ams and all of that. They act like a colleague. They expect you to call them by names. They don't want us to be so formal towards them. So everyone is quite positive. And like Priyam said, yes, if you have any silly question also, they make it very easily. Like they make it very easy for us to approach them. We've got like one whole Teams chat just for IT support, and I can see so many messages ki, oh my god, my computer is not switching on, and like some people, they'll have some issue because their computer hanged, and stuff that can be solved very easily also, they still ask. So it just shows that everyone's very transparent, and they keep on asking questions to each other, and everyone solves it also without judging them. So yeah.
So
and
this
I
is a
would
very
like to add
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
There is a very good question someone has asked. What if I have mentioned a software in my CV which I am not well aware, but I have used your project. I have used it in my project with the help of YouTube. So what can be done to avoid questions on that? So that is a good question. So I have also a question to you guys. Like suppose I have mentioned something in my CV, but I have used YouTube to do that part of my project to do. So will it be okay to tell to the interviewer that I had done this using this? So is it fine, or will it make a negative impression? Anyone of you can answer this.
So that's what every engineer does.
Okay, Vivek, go on.
Yeah, I have a example. I have a real case. So I have a very close friend who had the same issue. Like he mentioned all the softwares in his CV, but like him, and during the interview, the interviewer asked that, can you explain me how and where did you use the software? So he took it to the project where he used. He as he had done the project, he just mentioned like. He just told that I used it here and like this and this in this way and all. So you should not avoid these questions. You should rather take those questions with confidence and tell that this part I have done using the software, which will be really helpful. The interviewer will think that you're not bluffing, and you have done the project and you know the software. So it's a win-win for both of them.
I guess that's a very nice answer to such situation. So I guess that question is obviously you can implement in other things also, not only project. Yeah. So anyone else, any other question, or we are going to wind up?
So like if you have written the CV, they are most likely to ask, because they ask me about everything, internship, projects, extracurricular, everything. So if you have written it in a CV, it's very likely that they will ask. So it's better to be prepared.
And yes, I have a question from Priyam Patnaik. So yeah, Priyam, is it like writing in our CV that we have done this project by watching some YouTube video or something? And if we don't have the source code, will it be okay, or we need to have the source code with us?
It depends. If they ask for the source code, you can show it, or you can give an excuse.
So to be on safe side, we need to have source code, I guess. You will also agree.
Yeah.
See, no one is going to ask you for a source code. Okay.
No,
If
Priyam
you
and
have
me,
it
we have
on
already
GitHub and
come
if you
across that
really want to
situation.
show off,
No, but like if you really want to show off your skills and say that देखो मैंने ये किया है, मैंने वो किया है, and then if you say that yeah I can do projects on GitHub, I'm pretty sure that if your project is impressive enough, the interviewer will be like हाँ दिखा दो. So if you don't have it, try not to boast way too much about it. I guess that would be the just play it safe. You get it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And yes, just for the shape side, if you're writing some project, you have done something, just have the code with you as a backup. They may not ask you to explain each and everything, but you need, if someone like some interviewers are there who try to screw you up, they will ask you, go show us the code. That may happen, so be in the safe side. And anything else?
Yeah,
Any other
another
question?
thing,
Yeah, Abhishek.
Vishwatma,
Yeah.
I think I will get this question like the first thing they might have shown you that they have a specific slide. They must have shown you the value slide in your in the PPT session. If I'm not wrong, they must have shown you the value session. So before going to interview, just go through the values of fractal. This really help. This will help you to frame your answers. Okay, and another thing, if, in this scenario, when you will be having your probably on MS Teams, your interview will be having on MS Teams. So try to have an HR try to have your answers prepared for HR questions. Like initially, like last year, we used to have 50 HR questions, 50 common HR questions. You can prepare the answers beforehand, as it is difficult to articulate your thought like in fraction of second. And you can also prepare for HR questions with your friends, and it helped me last year. Probably it might not be the same for all of you, but yeah, it helps. It helps. Yeah, that was the last thing I want to add.
So I guess that was all for today's session, and we would actually like to end it here. So many of you guys may be having some other company or may be preparing for it. So that's all, and if you have still any queries, the Google form is still live. You can ask me those questions. I will be getting you the answers. And yes, this video will be up on YouTube. I have already given the channel description. Still I will be providing you again. And yes, do stay in touch with Elite Buzz. Thank you. Thanks a lot, actually, Shravya.
Vishwatma, just one thing.
Yeah,
just one thing I want to add.
Yeah, sure.
Like don't get stuck with any company. Okay, till the time you get placed, you might get rejected. So try not to get too much like emotionally attached with any company. Try to play safe. Try to play try to give your best, but not get emotionally attached. That's the best. That's the last advice I would like to give you guys.
That's a very good advice by Abhishek. It happens a lot with students that they obviously get attached to a company and then go on screwing up other companies. So it's like the situation has worsened this year due to the pandemic. So it's like you need to be like, if you really want to get placed and learn, it's like you are not going to be a CEO in some company. So it's the beginning of your career. So don't think any company to be bad or good. So just give your best for each and every company which is coming for the placements or you're appearing off campus. So that's all, and thank you Abhishek, Shravya, Priyam and Vivek. That was really helpful of you and kind of you to have joined us and the students who are attending this. So it's like means a lot to us. So thank you.
Bus. Thank you for asking all these questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Elite Buzz.
We are always happy to help.
answering all your questions.
Yeah, and in case you guys have not asked questions, yeah, it happens with everyone. We also didn't ask questions in most of our meetings, so it's common. And if you guys have any doubt or you want further clarification, you can ping us at any point of time, whether on LinkedIn or anywhere. You can ping all of us. We would be happy to help.
So I would like to wrap it up here. Thank you everyone. It was a nice session.
All right then, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye
Thank you
everyone.
and all the
Yeah.
best.